Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you might save your life. You know Whole Foods, right? That fancy grocery store where everything's supposed to be healthy and safe? Well, here's the shocking truth. Europe banned over 2,000 ingredients that Whole Foods still sells to you every single day. And if you're over 60, this information could literally be the difference between staying healthy and facing serious health risks. I spent the last 2 weeks digging through European Food Safety Authority reports, FDA documents, and talking to food scientists, and what I discovered made my jaw drop. Stick with me until the end, because ingredient number 7 that's hiding in your pantry right now is linked to something terrifying, and most seniors have no clue they're consuming it daily. 1. The regulatory nightmare. Okay, let me paint you a picture. It's 2025, and guess what? The way America regulates food ingredients is completely broken. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just confirmed this during his Senate hearing last month. He said, and I quote, "Compared to Europe, the U.S. looks at any new chemical as innocent until proven guilty." Think about that for a second. Innocent until proven guilty. That's great for the justice system, but for the food in your kitchen? Not so much. Here's what's really going on. In Europe, if a food ingredient shows even potential health risks in studies, boom, it's banned immediately. They use something called the precautionary principle. But in America, the FDA requires extensive proof before banning anything. We're talking years, sometimes decades of evidence. And here's the kicker. According to a February 2025 Time magazine investigation, nearly 99% of new chemicals introduced in the U.S. food supply between 2000 and 2021 came through something called GRAS notices. GRAS stands for Generally Recognized as Safe. Sounds official, right? Wrong. Here's the dirty secret. Food companies get to decide for themselves whether their ingredients are safe. Yes, you heard that right. The fox is guarding the hen house. Companies hire their own scientists, declare ingredients safe, and the FDA never even reviews them. It's like me saying, "Trust me, I'm healthy," without ever seeing a doctor. Environmental Working Group researcher Melanie Benish put it perfectly. There are chemicals entering the food supply with zero oversight from the FDA. But here's where it gets personal, especially if you're a senior. Your body doesn't process these chemicals the same way a 25-year-old's body does. Your kidneys work slower, your liver takes longer to detoxify, and trust me, these chemicals accumulate over time. 2. Titanium dioxide, the white poison. Now let's talk about ingredient number 1, and this one shocked me to my core. Titanium dioxide. Ever heard of it? Probably not, but you're eating it all the time. You know those bright white candies? That creamy frosting on cakes? Those perfectly white pills you take? That's titanium dioxide, and it's basically ground up metal particles added to food to make it look prettier. Here's what blew my mind. In May 2025, a groundbreaking study published in Alzheimer's and Dementia showed something terrifying. These tiny titanium dioxide particles can actually cross the blood-brain barrier and bind to neurons in your brain. Let me break that down. Your brain has this amazing protective wall called the blood-brain barrier. It's supposed to keep harmful stuff out. But these titanium dioxide nanoparticles, they're so small they slip right through like a thief in the night. And once they're in your brain, they trigger oxidative stress and inflammation. Sound familiar? Those are the exact same processes that lead to Alzheimer's disease. But wait, it gets worse. A May 2025 study in Food and Chemical Toxicology found that titanium dioxide raises blood sugar levels and messes with how your body processes glucose. Translation: It's making diabetes worse for millions of Americans, especially seniors who are already at risk. Now here's the part that should make you angry. Europe banned titanium dioxide in 2022. The European Food Safety Authority looked at the science and said, nope, this is not safe. They banned it across the entire European Union. But in America, we're still putting it in everything. I checked my pantry last week and found it in Hostess cupcakes, Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies, and even some medications. It's everywhere. Now you might be thinking, well, Whole Foods wouldn't sell anything dangerous, right? Think again. According to Whole Foods' own ingredient standards page, they ban over 300 ingredients from food. That sounds impressive until you realize titanium dioxide isn't on their banned list. 3. Red dye. 3. The cancer-causing color. Ingredient number 2 is even scarier. Red dye 3. You've probably seen it listed as F, D, and C, red number 3, on ingredient labels. Here's a wild fact that'll blow your mind. The FDA banned red dye 3 from lipstick and cosmetics back in 1990, 35 years ago, because studies showed it causes cancer in animals. Let me say that again. It's been illegal in lipstick since 1990. But guess where it was still legal until January 2025? Your food. That's right. For 35 years, the FDA said, don't put this in lipstick, it might cause cancer. But also said, go ahead and feed it to your kids and grandkids in candy. Does that make any sense to you? Me neither. The FDA finally banned it from food in January 2025, but here's the catch. Companies have until January 2027 to stop using it in food and until January 2028 to remove it from oral medications. That's right, you might still be eating it right now. A January 2025 PBS News investigation revealed something disturbing. Over 35 years of research shows red dye 3 causes thyroid cancer in rats. And while the FDA says there's no direct evidence in humans, think about this. How many seniors do you know with thyroid issues? According to the Center for Science in the Public Interest, red dye 3 was found in over 3,000 food products before the ban. Everything from candy corn to bright red maraschino cherries, those little bites party cake muffins your grandkids love, even Vigo yellow rice. Yes, yellow rice with red dye makes perfect sense, right? And here's what really gets me. Whole Foods banned red dye 3 years ago, along with all artificial colors. But you know what? They're one of the few stores in America that did. 4. Potassium bromate, the bread killer. Okay. Ingredient number 3 is hiding in something you probably eat every single day, bread, potassium bromate. It's added to flour to make bread rise higher and give it that fluffy texture we all love. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, that's the World Health Organization's Cancer Research Division, classified potassium bromate as possibly carcinogenic to humans all the way back in 1999. That's 26 years ago. Europe banned it in 1990, Canada banned it, the UK banned it, China banned it, even Brazil banned it. But America? Nah, we're good, keep eating it. Here's what potassium bromate does to your body, and this is particularly important for seniors. According to a New Jersey Department of Health report, this chemical causes kidney damage, nervous system damage, and yes, cancer. Your kidneys are especially vulnerable. And if you're over 60, your kidney function is already declining naturally. Adding a known kidney toxin to your daily bread, that's like playing Russian roulette with your health. But here's the really scary part. A 2025 Florida Senate bill analysis revealed that potassium bromate is found in over 130 different food products in the U.S. That's not just store-bought bread. We're talking about pastries, pizza dough, hamburger buns, dinner rolls, all of it. Now you're probably wondering, does Whole Foods sell products with potassium bromate? According to their quality standards page, they ban it. So that's one point in their favor. But here's the problem. Most Americans don't shop exclusively at Whole Foods, and even if you do, you're probably buying bread at other stores sometimes. 5. BHA and BHT, the preservative twins. Ingredient number 4 and 5, these are the twin terrors, BHA and BHT. Their full names are butylated hydroxyanisole and butylated hydroxytoluene, but nobody can pronounce those, so we just call them BHA and BHT. These are preservatives used to keep fats from going rancid. Sounds like a good thing, right? Except here's the problem. They might be preserving your food, but they're destroying your health. Let me share what I discovered. The European Union classifies BHA as a suspected endocrine disruptor. Translation: it messes with your hormones. And for seniors, especially women going through or past menopause, your hormones are already in flux. The last thing you need is a chemical making it worse. Animal studies show BHA binds to hormone receptors and interferes with your entire hormone system. We're talking reproductive organs, thyroid function, all of it. But here's what really concerns me. A final report reviewed by the Cosmetic Ingredient Review Expert Panel found that BHT exposure in animal studies was linked to liver and kidney damage. And in other studies, they found it actually promoted the development of liver and lung tumors. Now, the FDA still classifies both BHA and BHT as generally recognized as safe. But remember what I told you about GRAS? That classification is from 1958 for BHA and 1959 for BHT. We're talking 66 years ago. Your smartphone is smarter than the science the FDA is using to say these chemicals are safe. An April 2025 Environmental Working Group investigation found something disturbing. Despite growing health concerns, the FDA hasn't formally reviewed BHA since 1978. That's 47 years of new science completely ignored. Here's where I found BHA and BHT in my own kitchen. Cap'n Crunch cereal, potato chips, packaged baked goods, preserved meats, even some moisturizing serums my wife uses. And yes, you guessed it. Whole Foods does ban BHA and BHT from food and supplements, but they allow it in body care products because it's not ingested. But here's the thing. Your skin absorbs chemicals too. And for seniors with thinner skin, that absorption happens even faster. 6. Azodicarbonamide, the yoga mat chemical. Ingredient number 6 is going to make you sick. Literally. It's called azodicarbonamide, or ADA for short. You know what else uses ADA? Yoga mats. Yes, the same chemical used to make yoga mats soft and stretchy is also in your bread. Here's why that's terrifying. When ADA is heated, like when bread is baked, it breaks down into compounds called urethane and semicarbazide. Both of these are potential carcinogens. That means cancer-causing. The European Union banned ADA in food back in the early 2000s. They said, "We don't have enough safety data, and we're not taking chances." But the U.S. said, it's probably fine. And it's not just bread. According to a June 2025 on-site health report, ADA is commonly found in fast food hamburger buns, packaged bread, frozen pizza dough, basically anywhere you find mass-produced baked goods. But here's what really makes me angry. A recent study showed ADA is linked to respiratory issues, especially in workers exposed to it during manufacturing. They developed asthma and other breathing problems. Now think about seniors with COPD, emphysema, or just age-related breathing decline. You're already struggling to breathe, and now you're eating a chemical that makes it worse? The good news? Whole Foods bans ADA from all food products. But again, unless you're shopping exclusively at Whole Foods and reading every single label, you're probably consuming it. 7. Artificial sweeteners, the diet disaster. Now we're getting to ingredient number 7, and this is the one most seniors are consuming daily without even knowing it. Artificial sweeteners. We're talking aspartame, that's equal, sucralose, that's Splenda, and saccharin, that's Sweet and Low. If you've ever tried to cut sugar from your diet, you've probably used these. Here's what your doctor probably didn't tell you. Aspartame, when approved by the FDA, was controversial from day one. Early studies showed it triggered brain tumors in animals. Brain, mammary, uterine, ovarian, testicular, thyroid, and pancreatic tumors. But the FDA approved it anyway. And Whole Foods? They banned aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin all the way back in the early days of the company. They looked at the science and said, nope, not on our shelves. But here's the problem. These sweeteners are everywhere. Diet sodas, sugar-free yogurt, low-calorie desserts, protein powders, even some medications use artificial sweeteners to mask the taste. A March 2025 Newsweek investigation revealed something shocking. The FDA is finally starting to review these sweeteners again, but it's taking forever. Meanwhile, millions of seniors are consuming them daily in their heart-healthy or diabetic-friendly foods. Let me tell you about my neighbor, Dorothy. She's 68, diabetic, and has been using artificial sweeteners for 15 years. Last month, she developed severe digestive issues. Her doctor couldn't figure out why. Turns out, artificial sweeteners were destroying her gut microbiome. Within 2 weeks of stopping them, her symptoms disappeared. And here's something that'll blow your mind. Recent studies show artificial sweeteners might actually make weight gain worse by confusing your body's natural ability to regulate calories. So that diet soda you're drinking to lose weight? It might be doing the opposite. 8. The Whole Foods. Paradox. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Whole Foods. On their website, they proudly state they ban over 300 food ingredients, 115 plus supplement ingredients, 180 plus body care ingredients, and 120 plus household cleaning product ingredients. That's over 700 banned ingredients total. Pretty impressive, right? But here's the paradox. While Whole Foods bans more ingredients than any other major U.S. retailer, they're still selling products with ingredients that Europe wouldn't allow in a million years. Let me give you an example. Canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil. These industrial seed oils are allowed at Whole Foods, and many health experts now consider them harmful. They raise your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, which increases inflammation. And inflammation? That's the root cause of almost every disease seniors face: heart disease, arthritis, Alzheimer's, cancer. A February 2022 Vital Sage investigation found that Whole Foods still uses industrial seed oils, carrageenan, which is linked to gut issues, and even some forms of refined sugar in their products. And here's something most people don't realize. Just because something is organic doesn't mean it's healthy. You can have organic sugar, organic canola oil, organic processed junk food. It's still junk, just grown without pesticides. 9. Why this matters more for seniors. Now let's talk about why this information is especially critical if you're over 60. Your body isn't the same as it was at 30 or even 50. Here's what changes. Your liver processes toxins 30 to 40% slower. That means chemicals stay in your system longer, doing more damage. Your kidneys filter waste less efficiently. Compounds like potassium bromate and BHT that younger people might eliminate quickly, They accumulate in your body. Your gut health declines. You have fewer beneficial bacteria, which means you're more susceptible to the harmful effects of additives like titanium dioxide. Your immune system weakens. Those preservatives and artificial colors, they create inflammation, and your body can't fight it off as effectively. And here's the scariest part. Many of these chemicals are bioaccumulative. That means they build up over time. If you've been eating standard American food for 60, 70, 80 years, you've got a lifetime of these toxins stored in your fat cells, your organs, your brain. A 2025 study in Alzheimer's and dementia made a direct link between titanium dioxide nanoparticles and the development of Alzheimer's. Think about that. The white coloring in your candy might be contributing to memory loss and cognitive decline. Okay, I know this is overwhelming. You're probably looking at your pantry right now, thinking, what can I even eat? Here's my advice, and I'm speaking from experience because I went through this exact process with my own parents. Step number 1, read every label, and I mean every label. Look for these red flags: titanium dioxide, or E171, red dye 3, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, blue 2, potassium bromate, BHA, BHT, TBHQ, azodicarbonamide, aspartame, sucralose, saccharin. If you see any of these, put it back on the shelf. Step number 2, shop the perimeter of the store. Fresh fruits, vegetables, meat, dairy. Real food doesn't need ingredient labels because it's just one ingredient. Step number 3, if you must buy packaged foods, stick to brands with clean ingredients. And yes, Whole Foods is a safer option than most grocery stores, but don't assume everything there is perfect. Step number 4, cook at home more. I know it's harder as you get older, but even simple meals you make yourself are infinitely better than processed food. Step number 5, tell your doctor about the additives you're concerned about. Many doctors don't realize how much these chemicals affect senior health. Bring printouts of studies, ask questions, be your own advocate. Listen, I know this has been a lot of information, but here's the bottom line. Europe has banned over 2,000 food additives. The US has banned fewer than 30. That's not an accident. It's a result of weak regulations and powerful food industry lobbying. Whole Foods is better than most stores, but they're not perfect. They still allow ingredients that health experts warn against. And as a senior, you're more vulnerable to these chemicals than younger people. Your body can't detoxify as efficiently, and you've had a lifetime of exposure. But here's the good news. You have the power to change this. Every time you read a label and choose real food over processed junk, you're voting with your wallet. You're telling food companies, I'm not buying your chemical-laden garbage anymore. If this video opened your eyes, do me a favor. Hit that like button right now. Share this with every senior you know, especially your parents, grandparents, and friends over 60. Subscribe to my channel because I'm going to keep exposing these food industry secrets. And drop a comment telling me, what shocked you most? Are you going to start reading labels more carefully? Have you been eating any of these ingredients without knowing it? Next week, I'm diving into the chemicals hiding in medications that seniors take every day. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Stay healthy, stay informed, and remember, just because the FDA says it's safe doesn't mean it actually is. I'll see you in the next one.